Today is April 21st, and today is the day that Leo, also known as Leonidas Rex Spornitz, was put to sleep. Leo was my cat for 12 years. We found him in a bush outside our house, and I took care of him. When I moved out, I took him with me, and he's been with me ever since. And he was 12 years old when he passed away. He died of a cancer that was eliminating his ability to eat food. It hurt him. I could see tear streaks in his eyes quite a lot lately. It made him nauseous. It made him weak and tired. And he was suffering. My dad talked to me about it, and we decided to do it today. And I'm glad that the sun came out when it was time. It was a warm day when I found him, and it was a nice warm day when his life ended. I don't have anything I can do to lighten this mood. And if you're someone out there who found this by accident, I can only tell you that I loved him a lot. Loved him like anyone would love a dearly, dearly, fondly loved pet. He drove me nuts sometimes. He would keep me up at night. He would wake me up early in the morning to get fed. I would worry about him if he was out late after dark because there's a lot of nasty little critters out there, coyotes and raccoons and bears and all sorts of things that could have gotten him in the night, but nothing did. I'm lucky. It doesn't feel like luck, but I am blessed in that I knew what happened. I knew because I was there. There weren't any questions. The vet brought him into a little room where we were sitting. He had a catheter in his arm. And she had the drug that they were going to use, and when it was time, she inserted it and put it into his body. He was looking at me as it happened. And then he paused like this, and then he just let out his last breath. And that was it. I've cried a lot today, because this has got to be one of the worst days of my life, but in a weird way, I'm calmed by it. I don't know. I spent the last hour before we went to the vet talking at him. I don't know how much a cat can understand a person. I don't know how much Leo understood of his situation, except that he was miserable and that he was slowly wasting away. But he purred. He purred the whole time I talked to him. A loud, throaty, rumbling sound. It sounded so vital. It's just so hard to think that he was sick. It puts everything in perspective. He hasn't been eating well for months. He slowed down a little bit, but a lot more in the last 2 weeks. My dad couldn't figure out what it was. And there was no way we were going to find out without a vet's help. The initial vet couldn't make any guesses either. That was why we did the ultrasound where we found the cancer. But it says this isn't, it's the end of his life, but it's not the end of his existence. And I know how small and trivial it can seem to say that there's a part of him in me, part of him in here, and part of him in here. He's had a huge impact on my life. He's dictated where I've lived in his own way. And after all the nonsense Mother Nature has thrown at us, she gave us sun today. She gave us rain too after the fact. I went out for a walk, and during the last legs it started sprinkling. But the sun's come back out now. It hurts. I know that's how I know I loved him. Because it feels like something's been cut off of me. And I've cried, and I'm going to cry more. It's going to be hard to sleep tonight. But I know I'm going to see him again somehow. I don't know how to put it. I just know that there's something else to this existence, and that someday I'll see him again. And this has helped. More than I thought it would have. Being able to just say what I'm feeling. Even if no one ever sees it, no one ever hears it. I know I've done it. And it will remain online as long as YouTube servers are there. As long as they don't make me sign away a fortune to keep the space up at some point. Now that he's gone, they always say, now the healing can begin. Now you can move on. I don't think moving on is what we need to do. I think there's another term that I came across when I was researching grief, and it's reintegration. I think that is a much more profound idea. The idea that after this happens, we reach out and we get back to what we were part of before we isolated ourselves to deal with this. My parents have been very good about that. And I know my friends will be too, although I don't want to drag them down into the dumps too much. Thankfully, I think they don't have that sort of attachment. They're going to feel bad that I feel bad, but they're going to be able to help me move past the pain and not move on, but remember him and keep that with me till the end of my life, however long from now that may be. So long, Leo. I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.